have a pencil, pen, something that you can use to track while we are reading? Alright, we're gonna read the title. Read it again. So read the title, please. A whole new ball game. It says 75 years ago, many male baseball players went off to war. So female players stepped up to the plate. See the red circle?
Yeah.
Okay, her name is Betsy Jackum. Everyone say Betsy Jackum.
Betsy Jackum.
Okay, so does that look like it's an actual picture? It's a real picture? Yeah. Okay, kind of cool. Okay. Let's see. Miriam, why don't you start us off, please?
In May 1943, Betsy Jackum arrived at Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs. But she wasn't there to watch a baseball game. She and nearly 300 other women had been invited to try out for the first professional baseball league for women.
Nice. In May 1943, Betsy Jackum arrived at Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs. But she wasn't there to watch a baseball game. She and nearly 300 other women had been invited to try out for the first professional baseball league for women.
In May 1943, Betsy Jackum arrived at Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs, but she wasn't there to watch a baseball game. She and nearly 300 other women had been invited to try for the first professional baseball league for women.
Nice job. Bradley.
Jackum had grown up playing softball in Cincinnati, Ohio. At the tryouts, she impressed the coaches with her speed, hitting, and fielding skills. Jackum was chosen to play for one of the teams for the new league's 4 teams, the Blue Sox of the South and
Indiana. Good job, Indiana. Alright, Jackum had grown up playing softball in Cincinnati, Ohio. At the tryouts, she impressed the coaches with her speed, hitting, and fielding skills. Jackum was chosen to play for one of the new league's 4 teams, the Blue Sox of South Bend, Indiana. Oh, that's where it ended. No big deal. Let's see, Alex. So right on the top, we kind of didn't stop at the paragraph, but let's keep going.
It was the greatest feeling in the world, says Jackum, now 97 years old. The new league came to be known as the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, AAGPBL.
That's a long acronym. So you know how sometimes they have like NBA? So what does NBA stand for? NFL or NHL, Riley?
NBA stands for National Basketball Association.
Yeah, so it's an acronym, so it shortens it all up. So this is a super long name for this league, so they shortened it up by AAGPBL. Okay, keep going.
75 years later, Jackum and the league's other players are remembered as pioneers for women in sports.
Good job. All right. It was the greatest feeling in the world, says Jackum, now 97 years old. The new league came to be known as the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, AAGPBL. 75 years later, Jackum and the league's other players are remembered as pioneers for women in sports. Why would they be known as pioneers? Think back to yesterday when we talked about the word pioneers. Why would they call them pioneers? Amira?
Because they're the first woman to play sports.
Yeah, they're the first group. So we talked yesterday, they were the first people to explore. They were the first people to come to this new land. In this case, they were the first group of women to play baseball. Okay, Riley.
A new league. During her first season with the Blue Sox, Jackum earned $50 per week. That was more than a lot of jobs paid back then. While growing up, she had never imagined that she'd get paid to play baseball. At that time, there were no pro sports leagues for women.
Perfect. During her first season with the Blue Sox, Jackum earned $50 per week. That was more than a lot of jobs paid back then. While growing up, she says she had never imagined that she'd get paid to play baseball. At that time, there were no pro sport leagues for women.
During her first season with the Blue Sox, Jackum earned $50 per week. That was more than a lot of jobs paid back then. While growing up, she had never imagined that she'd get paid to play baseball. At that time, there were no pro sport leagues for women.
Okay, good job. So back then, I think I had this discussion with my class. Milk, bread, that costs like 5-10 cents. Okay, so many years ago, items that people bought at grocery stores were very cheap. Gas, I think we had this conversation about gas, now that I'm remembering. Gas was very cheap. Now gas could be from $2 to $4, almost $5. So what they're saying in this article is that she was paid $50, which is going to be a lot. Okay, so imagine it cost you, I don't know, 20 cents for gas. And now she has all this $50 bill, or she has $50. She's getting $50 a week. That's a lot of money. Okay. Jacob.
In fact, women weren't considered for jobs.
Pencil.
In fact, women were considered for jobs in many industries.
Good.
That started to change after the U.S. entered World War II in 1941. Millions of men joined the armed forces to fight overseas. That created a shortage of workers on the home front. Across the U.S., women stepped in to fill those jobs.
And then it says, see Rosie the Riveter, so if we wanted to learn some more information. In fact, women weren't considered for jobs in many industries. That started to change after the U.S. entered World War II in 1941. Millions of men joined the armed forces to fight overseas. That created a shortage of workers on the home front. Across the U.S., women stepped in to fill those jobs.
In fact, women weren't considered for jobs in many industries. That started to change after the U.S. entered World War I. In 1941, in World War II. In 1941, millions...
Okay, wait, so look at this period here. So, U.S. entered World War II in 1941. Stop.
U.S. entered World War II in 1941. Millions of men joined the armed forces to fight overseas. That created a shortage of workers on the home front. Across the U.S., women stepped in to fill those jobs.
Good job. So why are these women being asked to fill in for jobs for men? Why are they being asked to play baseball, Alex?
Because men are out at the overseas and can't fill in the job.
Okay, so these men are leaving and they're going to war, and the jobs that they had, they're not there anymore. So women have to step in. Same thing with baseball. I don't think we got to that paragraph. So okay, Chuck.
The war also had a big effect on Major League Baseball. By 1943, more than half of the league's players had joined the military. This worried Philip Wrigley, the owner of the Chicago Cubs, with many of the top players gone. He thought...
Hold on. So look at Philip Wrigley, the owner of the Chicago Cubs. With many of the top players gone, so start back with what?
With many of the top players gone, he thought Americans might lose interest in baseball. That gave him an idea to start the AAGPBI. Wrigley hoped that women would keep baseball going. Just as they were carrying on the work in offices, on farms, and
Okay, good job. The war also had a big effect on Major League Baseball. By 1943, more than half of the league's players had joined the military. This worried Philip K. Wrigley, the owner of the Chicago Cubs. With many of the top players gone, he thought Americans might lose interest in baseball. That gave him the idea to start the AAGPBL. Wrigley hoped that women would keep baseball going, just as they were carrying on the work in the offices, on farms, and in factories.
The War Act also had a big effect on Major League Baseball. By 1943, more than half of the league's players had joined the military. This worried Philip K. Wrigley, the owner of the Chicago Cubs. With many of the top players gone, he thought Americans might lose interest in baseball. That gave him an idea to start the AAGPBL. Wrigley hoped that women would keep baseball going, just as they were carrying on the work in offices, on farms, and in factories.
Good. So imagine that this was happening now. So imagine these professional baseball players. Imagine your favorite hockey player, your favorite basketball player left, and then they started. Well, let me ask you that question. So imagine that your favorite hockey, your favorite sports player, your favorite person that you watch on TV left the show. Would you keep watching the show? Would you keep watching the sport? What do you think? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Would you keep watching the show? So if your favorite player left, you might think so? I think if my favorite player left, I would stop watching. So that's what was happening, is that he was worried that these professional baseball players, they left, they went to war, and he was worried that they were going to lose all of their viewers. So he decided, hey, we'll start a women's league. Madison.
Opening day for the AAGPBL was May 30th, 1933. At a small stadium in Rockford, Illinois, Jochum and the Blue Sox defeated the Rockford Peaches. At first, most people didn't take the Women's Baseball League seriously, but the players eventually won over many of the doubters with their talent.
Good job. Opening day for the AAGPBL was May 30th, 1943. At a small stadium in Rockford, Illinois, Jochum and the Blue Sox defeated the Rockford Peaches. At first, most people didn't take the Women's Baseball League seriously, but the players eventually won over many of the doubters with their talent.
Opening day for the AAGPBL was May 30th, 1943, at a small stadium in Rockford, Illinois. Jochum,
Wait a minute. Let's start back here.
at a small stadium in Rockford, Illinois, Jochum and the Blue Sox defeated the Rockford Peaches. At first, most people didn't take the Women's Baseball League seriously, but the players eventually won over many of the doubters with their talent.
Good job. All right. Amira.
The fans didn't expect us to play that well until they saw us, said Jochum. She earned the nickname Sock'em Jochum for her hitting unlike male players. Female players had to play while wearing shorts and a skirt. Also, players were expected to act ladylike at all times, both on the field and off. During the league's first 2 seasons, all the women were required to attend charm school. They were taught how to walk and talk like a lady, and even how to put on makeup.
Okay, so how weird does that sound? So these women are playing baseball, but they're also expected to wear makeup and dress appropriately and be all nice and proper. So how does that sound, Alex?
That sounds dumb,
Okay, why does it sound dumb?
because baseball is a sport that people play to have fun and not just walk around and just not play.
Okay, take a look at that
Look
picture.
around.
Take a look at the picture at the bottom. She slides into third base. How aren't they getting dirty?
Yeah.
And they're going to have makeup and a skirt on and going to be expected to be nice and proper. So yes, I think that does sound a little silly that they expected them to do that.
Because it's gravels, we'll have cuts.
Okay. The fans didn't expect us to play that well until they saw us play, says Jochum. She earned the nickname Sock'em Jochum for her hitting.
Miss Fifer,
Yes?
we already did that part.
I know, but I have to read and then Amir has to
Oh,
read
yeah.
that. Thank you. She earned the nickname Sock'em Jochum for her hitting. Unlike male players, female players had to play while wearing shorts and a skirt. Also, players were expected to act ladylike at all times, both on the field and off. During the league's first 2 seasons, all the women were required to attend charm school. They were taught how to walk and talk like a lady, and even how to put on makeup.
The fans didn't expect us to play that well until they saw us play, said Jockum. She earned the nickname Sock'em Jockum for her hitting. Unlike male players, female players had to play while wearing shorts and a skirt. Also, players were expected to act ladylike at all times, both on the field and off. During the league's first 2 seasons, all the women were required to attend charm school. They were taught how to walk and talk like a lady, and even how to put on makeup.
Very crazy. Wyatt.
A lasting impact. The AAGPBL continued after the troops became home when the troops came home when World War II ended in 1945. The league's popularity reached its peak in 1948. More than 900,000 fans attended the games that year. Jockum retired from baseball after that season. She used the money she had saved while playing to pay for college. She later became a teacher in 1954.
She later became a teacher.
She later became a teacher in 1954.
No, look at. She later became a teacher. In 1954, the AAGPBL. So let's start here.
She later became a teacher. In 1954, the AAGPBL came to an end. It had struggled to compete with Major League Baseball, which by then had started growing, showing games on TV. Though the Women's League lasted only 12 seasons, it helped change people's attitudes about sports. They realized that women can play as well as the men, says Jockum.
The AAGPBL continued after the troops came home when World War II ended in 1945. The league's popularity reached its peak in 1948. More than 900,000 fans attended games that year. Jockum retired from baseball after that season. She used the money she had saved while playing to pay for college. She later became a teacher. In 1954, the AAGPBL came to an end. It had struggled to compete with Major League Baseball, which by then had started showing games on TV. Though the Women's League lasted only 12 seasons, it helped change people's attitudes about sports. They realized that women can play as well as the men, says Jockum. All right, I'm not going to read it yet. Okay, so let's go to our summary, okay? So you can keep the article in front of you. I don't need you writing. I'm just going to write myself. So we have who, what, where, when, why, and how. Alright, so who is this about? Who is this about? Jacob.
Betsy Jockum.
Betsy. Okay, who else? Alex.
Women playing baseball.
Okay, women playing baseball. Do you think that we would include that in our summary?
No.
I would probably say no, because we already have Betsy's name. We know that she's a woman, okay? Riley?
It's about the AAGPBL.
PBL. So another thing about this, do you think that we're going to include this acronym in our summary? No, we're not going to write this, but do you think we're going to write all of the words that this means? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? Probably not, because that's already half. So we'll leave that up there, but I want you to keep that in mind. Wyatt?
Philip K. Wrigley.
Wrigley, okay, and he was who?
The coach.
Philip was...
Oh, the
No,
owner.
yeah, okay, yeah. So Philip was the owner. W. Okay, what?
No, I haven't.
We're going to keep moving on. What was this about? What? Stop.
It was about
how the yeah, what I was gonna say.
Okay, think about it. Daisy?
The Major League Baseball.
Not Major League Baseball. We're kind of missing a part from that. Is there something you can add to that? Who? Who? Samantha?
It's about how women
Yeah.
are proven to be better and stronger than men sometimes.
My friend his mom used to do that.
Okay, so it's about women playing baseball, and it's about the first team. The first woman team. Okay, who, what, where? Where did this take place, Aiden?
It does say the Chicago Cubs, so I'm gonna say Chicago.
Okay, so we'll put Wrigley Field. Chicago. Who, what, where, when. Be careful on when. Do not just blurt out all the dates that you see. Be purposeful with what date. Liam? So be purposeful. Bella?
In 1945.
What does it say in 1945? I see that World War ended in 1945, so I would say no about 1945 because 1945. Yeah, no to 1945. Bradley,
In May 1943,
what happened?
Betsy Jackson wanted at Wrigley Field, the home of the Chicago Cubs, but she wasn't there to watch a baseball game. She and nearly 300 other men had been invited to try out for the.
Okay, so in your own words, what happened May 1943?
That she went to try out for professionals.
Yeah, the women were invited to come try out for a baseball team. Why is this important? Why is this article important? Aiden?
So people have somebody to look up to when women want to play baseball.
Okay. Okay, we're gonna hold off on that for a second, but yes, that's an answer to my question. Riley?
Women can play sports too.
Women can play
Not all
sports
men.
too. Sure, Jacob?
I had a question and I didn't have one. Like, instead of having women not play sports, that they actually can play sports too.
Okay, so women can play sports too. Why were these women being asked to play sports? Why were they being asked? Madison?
Because most of the players went to fight in World War II.
Most of who?
Like the Chicago Cubs players.
So the men. Okay, so the men were going to war. Who, what, where, when, why, how. Let's do how did people feel. So how did people feel? How did the viewers feel? Alex?
They felt like it was a joke at first,
Yeah.
and realized that women are actually good at baseball.
So they were skeptical at first, but enjoyed the games, but enjoyed the games. So they were skeptical at first, but enjoyed the games. Okay, so what you're going to do now is you are going to work with 4 groups, or 4 people, okay? So you 4 are going to work together. Daisy, you're looking. You 4, you 4, you 4. Matthew, you'll be up here, and then you'll be a 3 group, okay? So I'm going to give you 1 minute. So listen to your directions first. Listen to your directions. I'm giving you 1 minute to discuss with your group. You're not writing anything down. 1 minute to discuss a possible 10-word or less summary. Okay? Put your hand down. 1 minute. Okay, do that now. 1 minute.
Wait.
Wait.
Like Betsy Jockam, so we're at 6, right?
In May, Betsy Jockam.
No, Betsy Jockam. When played. No, Betsy Jockam. I was going to say for men. Wait, in 1943.
Alright, now I'm going to give you 1 minute. One person is going to be the writer. You are writing down your sentence. One person. Capital letter, period. Make sure the proper nouns are capitalized. Alright, I'm giving you 1 minute.
Betsy Jockam.
Just say Jockam. Just Jockam. Erase Betsy.
Played.
I'm not done.
Jock.
We know she knows how to spell
Joch. Betsy Jockam played
She's not.
baseball.
What was it? The men went to the women's stepped.
Okay, about 15 seconds. 15 seconds.
For men in war. Perfect. In war.
Don't say Merry Christmas.
Okay, time is up. Well, if you have 11, not a huge deal. Okay, so what's going to happen is one person is going to come up to the front of the room and they are going to read the sentence, okay, your summary sentence, and then after we have them all, we're going to vote on which one you think is the quality, the most quality. Okay, it has the most information, it has important information, not information that we don't need. All right, Riley. Okay.
May 1943, Betsy Jockam played baseball for men in war.
Okay. Not bad. So we need to make sure too that it includes information. So it included May 1943. It included Betsy Jockam, right? Played baseball for men in war. So it included the what and the why-ish, right? The what and the why. Okay. Seth.
Somebody just eat.
Come on. Okay. Alright, go ahead.
Men went to war, so Betsy stepped in for baseball.
Alright, not bad. So it included that men were going to war. Includes her name. Alright. Yours.
The women's baseball league played in 1943 for men in war.
Okay, the Women's Baseball League played in 1943 for men in war. Bella, your group. Okay.
In 1943, Betsy Jockam joined the Terrace Women League of Baseball.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, we did forget a period. Alright, and then last group. I do get 10 points. Last group.
We get 40 points.
Okay.
Betsy Jockam proved viewers wrong that women can play baseball.
Okay, Betsy Jockam proved viewers wrong that women can play baseball. Okay, so I'm going to read them all one more time. Okay? You're not allowed to vote for yours. Okay? You're not allowed to vote for yours. So, you are voting for the one that has the most, it's the quality summary. Okay? It explains what happened, what we read in the article. Okay? Alright, May 1943, comma, Betsy Jackham played baseball for men in war. So that's 1. Men went to war, so Betsy stepped in for baseball. That's 2. The Women's Baseball League played in 1943 for men in war. In 1943, Betsy Jackham joined the first women's league in baseball. Betsy Jackham proved viewers wrong that women can play baseball. Alright, put your head down. Put your head down so you're not allowed to vote for yours. Does everyone know which one they're voting for? Why don't you look one more time? So have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in your head. Alright, put your head down when you're ready. Put your head down when you're ready. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, then put your head down, please. Okay, are you ready?
No.
Alright, raise your hand for 1. Raise your hand high for 1. Raise it for 1. Okay, put your hands down and don't look up. Raise your hand for 2. Okay, raise your hand for 3. Alright, raise your hand for 4. Raise your hand for 5. Okay, put your hands or your heads up. I don't know if I agree. So 5-1. So 5, the 5th one won. But does that have the most information? I would say no. It only has Betsy Jackham, so the name, and then it has, but why did they prove viewers wrong? And it doesn't say anything about, I think the first baseball league, that's very important. Okay? So I'm going to say no to that one.
Disqualified.
So what about number 4? Number 4, I would say number 4 is the winner, and nobody voted for number 4.
Well, then they forgot their period.
That's because they got their period.
In 1943, so it has the win.
And it's 11.
You're up here. In 1943, Betsy Jackham, so her name, joined the first women league, or I would say joined the first women baseball league. So I would make it 10. Baseball. Okay, also, I like this one too. May 1943, Betsy Jackham played baseball for men and more. I would like the first. That's the most important part, is that it was the first women's league. Okay, they were the first group of women to play baseball. So I would say 4. No one voted for 4.
You got disqualified.
Yeah. No, it does not give us information. Absolutely not. Okay. Alright, your voice is off, please. So if you had a whiteboard, you need to come grab the whiteboard.
I had to think one.